Guys, the MacBook Neo 2 is coming, but after the latest leaks and reports, Apple's strategy is becoming much clearer. This is not meant to replace the MacBook Air or MacBook Pro. Instead, Apple is building an entirely new category, a low-cost MacBook designed to bring more users into the Mac ecosystem. Today, we're verifying the newest updates, correcting the exaggerated rumors, and separating real information from hype. First, let's talk about what the original MacBook Neo actually is. According to Mac rumors, the current Neo launched as Apple's cheapest modern laptop, starting around $599. Powered by an A18 Pro chip instead of an M-series chip. That alone changed the laptop market because Apple essentially created a MacBook powered by iPhone-class silicon. The Neo proved Apple could deliver a lightweight macOS laptop at a much lower price than the MacBook Air. Now the big question, what is Apple planning for the second generation? According to recent reports from analyst Ming-Chi Kuo and coverage by Mac Rumors, the MacBook Neo 2 is expected to focus mainly on performance, memory, and efficiency upgrades, not a redesign. The most likely upgrade is the move from the A18 Pro chip to the A19 Pro chip. This is important because Apple appears to be using older flagship iPhone chips for the Neo lineup instead of M-series chips. That strategy helps Apple reduce costs while still offering impressive battery life and strong performance for students and casual users. And this brings us to one of the biggest updates: RAM improvements. Reports strongly suggest the Neo 2 could increase memory from 8 GB to 12 GB RAM, mainly because future macOS features in Apple Intelligence tools require more memory. This would make the Neo much more capable for multitasking, web browsing, schoolwork, and light creative workloads. Now let's address the biggest rumor surrounding the Neo 2, the touchscreen display. Earlier leaks suggested Apple might add touch support to compete with Chromebooks and lower-cost Windows laptops. But according to the latest Mac rumors, reports, and comments from Mark Gurman, Apple is now unlikely to add touchscreen support to the Neo 2. This is a major correction because many YouTube leaks exaggerated touchscreen rumors as confirmed, when reliable sources now suggest the opposite. Apple still appears hesitant to combine touch-based MacBooks with the iPad lineup because it could blur the distinction between the two products. So the current verified expectation is no touchscreen, traditional MacBook keyboard and trackpad experience. Focus on affordability and efficiency instead of experimentation. Now let's talk about the design, because many people expect dramatic changes, but that's probably not happening. According to current leaks, Apple is expected to keep the same colorful, lightweight aluminum design introduced with the first Neo. That means thin and lightweight body, 13-inch display, colorful finishes, simple port selection. Apple appears to be positioning the Neo as a fun, affordable MacBook rather than a professional workstation. Next, display quality, and this is important. The Neo lineup is expected to continue using a standard Liquid Retina display rather than OLED or Mini LED technology. OLED rumors exist, but reliable reports suggest Apple is reserving OLED panels for higher-end MacBook Pro models first. Battery life, however, is expected to remain one of the Neo's biggest strengths. Since Apple uses iPhone-class chips with excellent efficiency, the Neo 2 could deliver extremely long battery life, even without a massive battery. This is one of the reasons the first Neo became surprisingly popular among students and everyday users. Now let's discuss something very interesting: repairability. Recent teardown reports suggest the original Neo is one of Apple's most repairable laptops in years. Components like speakers and ports are reportedly easier to access and replace compared to previous MacBooks. This is a huge shift for Apple and could continue with the Neo 2, especially as global right to repair pressure increases. Another major update is demand and supply issues. According to recent reports, even Apple executives were surprised by the success of the original Neo. The combination of low-price macOS and Apple branding attracted many first-time Mac users. However, this strong demand also created supply challenges, especially around A18 Pro chip availability. This is why there are rumors that Apple may even reconsider some entry-level configurations for the Neo lineup. In the future, rising chip and memory costs could impact pricing strategies moving forward. Now let's move to software and AI, because this is becoming central to Apple's ecosystem. The Neo 2 is expected to support more Apple Intelligence features than the current model, thanks to increased RAM and newer silicon. This could include smarter Siri interactions, AI writing tools, improved search and automation, better on-device processing. Apple is clearly trying to make even its budget devices AI-ready. Connectivity upgrades are also possible. Some community discussions suggest improvements like faster USB-C ports or MagSafe support, but reliable sources have not confirmed major connectivity changes yet. Now let's talk about release timing, because this is still uncertain. The strongest expectation is a spring 2027 release window, though some reports suggest Apple could refresh the Neo earlier depending on market demand and chip supply. Pricing is expected to remain aggressive for Apple standards. The Neo 2 will likely continue targeting the $599 to $699 range, helping Apple compete more directly with Chromebooks and entry-level Windows laptops. Tell us your opinion, guys. Subscribe the Upgrade Zone for upcoming real videos.